All right, everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Lab Logs. This is episode number 6, which man, these have been flying by, and hopefully, I'm going to be doing a lot more of them in the near future. But yeah, then this one we're going to be talking about everything that kind of happened right after I finished the website. So if you haven't, been tuned in, I'm taking like a website and a small business, a local photography business in Austin, Texas, from zero to hero. Zero meaning they have no leads, no prior SEO, anything like that, not even like a real website, and to hopefully getting a consistent flow of leads, fully booked up portfolio, and schedule along with that, which will hopefully lead to some more money for this small business owner. So I'm doing that, just through traditional strategies, just to try to test those out and see if we can establish a baseline. If you missed the last 5, those have all been geared towards really trying to get the website up. And my challenges with that, I used WordPress, which I was brand new to WordPress. I've never used it before, so it was a little bit tough to kind of get used to new software and stuff like that. But now we're on the other end of it. Website's done. And yeah, if you want to see like all the website stuff, you can check out the last video where I kind of went through that. But in this episode, we really focused more on the stuff that we did right after, which was mainly installing a site kit through WordPress, which is how we track our analytics. And then we also were doing the Google My Business card, which I'll take you through first. So if you're unfamiliar with the Google My Business card, if you like Google a business, which in this case, I'll Google it here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up an incognito tab. Page productions. This right here, it's this card right here is really what we're talking about here. So I got all this information set up. It was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be honest with you. Just because, yeah, like Google My Business is a little bit weird in how they kind of lay things out. And Abby, the photographer I'm working with, did have this set up partially prior to me coming through and doing it. So I had to go through and kind of change some things. It wasn't like the clean layout that you'd expect when you're first setting this stuff up. So yeah, but went through, linked everything. I left her a review as our first one. And we're going to slowly kind of have friends and family leave her some reviews over the next few weeks just to kind of help boost that. Added some media, added a little bit of her portfolio up on here, service area, stuff like that. Just went through and filled out all the basic information, which doesn't look like a ton, but it took a little bit longer than I anticipated. And then we also went into WordPress and installed the actual site kit. Site kit is what connects everything to Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is how we're able to kind of see how many people are visiting the page and track everything through that. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Google Analytics, but it's pretty intuitive to use. We'll show you how many users you've had. You can go to reports and kind of look through all of this stuff. So that was primarily what we set up over the past couple of days since our last update for Lab Logs number 5. And yeah, from here, guys, it's going to be a little bit more boring, but my goal is to keep you engaged in the process. As you know, in this community, the whole point is for us to try to test GEO methods, which is primarily optimizing for generative engine optimization. Or I kind of just repeated myself. It's optimizing for generative engines like large language models like ChatGPT and Google Gemini and stuff like that. So that when our target our target market, like in this case, people who are looking for an Austin photographer or a wedding photographer / event photographer or engagement photographer, when they're in ChatGPT or using these, kind of search engines or generative engines to, find local services, we can implement some things, hopefully, that will, make a difference for the business to get them more leads. Because more leads, as you know, if you can, sustain more leads as a business, will lead to more money. More money is always a good thing. I guess that's subject to opinion, but for businesses, more money is a good thing. So yeah, that's kind of the goal, and that's what we're going to be focusing on the next few weeks. My plan is to take advantage of all the free resources I have. My goal is to kind of bootstrap this and spend as little money on it as possible. One, because I don't have a ton of money to throw into this, but then two, I also want to try to showcase that we can do this with resources that everybody has access to. So we're going to be trying to primarily, use things like Instagram and social media to push some campaigns out. I got some ideas for some photographer for oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Some photographer specific things that we can, kind of push out to the general public, especially as a new photographer, with some promotions to hopefully get some people using the site. And then also leaving her good reviews that are like natural customers who actually want to use your product, because that's only going to help SEO. So yeah, we're going to do that for at least the next month. I told Kyle, who's kind of the partner in this, who's also, a member of the group and an administrator. We're going to do this until the end of December. And then kind of, see where our results are leading us. I'm going to be publishing lab logs all throughout that time. But yeah, going to be testing all this to the end of December before we look into doing any sort of paid ads. That way we have some time to actually see how well the free stuff, if you will, works. So that's the plan for the next month. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And yeah, let's get cracking.